Well, I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how you can use domain names in conjunction with your ACN website to get better results. But before I do, if you're watching this video via YouTube, one quick tip is go ahead and click this button here on the bottom right hand corner, and that will take you to a full screen mode. It might help you see a little clearer what I'm doing here step by step. To go back to the normal screen, just hit escape on your keyboard and it will take you back to the original size screen. Domain names can be used in conjunction with your ACN website as a way to help direct people to your website without having to remember the entire web address. If you're like most people, you found that your ACN web address is kind of sometimes hard to remember or hard for people to recall that you give that website to. And so what you can do with a domain is you can register an easier web address to remember, whether it's a name or a phrase, and then redirect any traffic to that web address to your ACN website. So it's an easy way to get your website to people in a way that they remember. I'll give you an example of that. Michael Dean Chadwick has an ACN website and was having a hard time getting people to recall the exact web address for that ACN website because it was a little bit out of the ordinary. It included some names and some numbers and so forth. And so what we did is we went in and registered michaeldeanchadwick.com. We registered that domain. And now we just redirect all the traffic that comes to michaeldeanchadwick.com directly to his ACN website. And you can see that right here. His ACN website is the ultimate destination of anyone who goes to michaeldeanchadwick.com. So we're going to take a few minutes to show you how you can do the same thing, and again, whether it be your name or a phrase, just something that's easier for people to remember that makes it easier for them to ultimately get to your website. So to do that, we're going to use GoDaddy.com. It's just one of the several services you can use for domain registration, but they're pretty easy and inexpensive, so that's one we're going to use. The first step is you want to create an account. So go here to the top and click on Create an Account, and it's going to pull up a registration form. You're going to want to fill out anything that has a star next to it. So you have your name information here. You're going to choose a login name and a password. Also, you're going to do a 4-digit PIN that you can use if you ever need to call GoDaddy for customer support. They're going to ask you for that PIN. Finish all the way down here, and then at the very bottom you're going to click on Create a New Account. Now if you've missed anything up above, they'll bring you back here to fill in whatever you've missed, or maybe you have given a login name that's already in use and they ask you to pick another login name. But once you finish all this, you're going to create a new account, and what's going to happen is it is going to automatically log you into that new account. Also, it's going to send you an email with your customer number. So you're going to want to keep up with your customer number, your login name, and your password. That way you can get back to your GoDaddy account. So what I'm going to do is quickly just show you what the account looks like. I'm going to log into my account, and we're going to see that real quick. Now when I log into my account, you're going to see I have a little bit more activity on my home page than you're going to have initially, just because I already own some domains and have some recent orders. So you see my domains that I own. I have some past orders here. And so what we're going to do is this. Now that you've logged in, this will probably be a blank page. You're going to go here to the top, and on this green bar you're going to click on Domains. So when you click on Domains, here's the first step. First, we want to search for a domain to determine if it's available or not. What you're going to do is maybe here type in your name, or maybe you'll type in a phrase that you like. Anything that's easy for people to remember so they can get to your site. So let me show you what it would look like if you choose one that's already been taken. Let's choose michaeldeanchadwick.com. And we know it's already been taken, but I'll show you what that says. Now, first thing I'll note is I would always look to use .com as opposed to all these other options, .info and .net. .com is the most universal, and so I would plan to use that. So let's go ahead and put in michaeldeanchadwick.com. We're going to search for that. Now when you search for it, you're going to see the result is that michaeldeanchadwick.com is already taken. So you may run into this if you put your name in or any kind of phrase. You may find that that's already taken. So just keep searching. You'll find that GoDaddy gives you a couple of options. Of course, they give you the other options that are available like .info and .net. Again, I would always opt back to .com. they give you some variations over here. You'll see this one was themichaeldeanchadwick.com. So they give you some variations of your name that may be available. What I would do is just keep going back and searching for other names. Maybe you might want to throw in an initial or anything, but again, remember the key here is to make it easy for people to remember. So one way you may approach that is just, you might do something like add ACN to the end of your name. If you added ACN, let's see what would happen if we put johnsmithacn.com, and we're going to search for that. As it turns out, that is available. So here we have John Smith ACN is available. You can see it's already checked off, and it's $10.69 a year to register that domain. So let's say that that was the name that we wanted to use. We're going to add and proceed to checkout. So we click this button here, and it's going to come up and ask you how long do you want to register this domain. Well, you can choose as little as a year, as many as 10 years. There's really no benefit in multiple years, and if you did 1 year or 2 years, you're going to have the right right of first refusal. In other words, you'll be able to renew this before anybody else does. So it really doesn't matter how long of a time frame you do. Let's just say that we, for the sake of argument, are going to do 2 years. And then scroll all the way down. You'll see all this additional stuff here is where GoDaddy's trying to upsell you on some different items. So we're going to go down to the bottom and just tell them no thanks, I'm ready to check out, and hit continue. And when we do that, it's going to bring up your shopping cart. Shows what's in the shopping cart, the cost, $21.74. Then you just simply scroll down, put in your payment information, check off the terms of service, and continue. And you'll go through this process of purchasing that domain. Now once you do that, you'll get a couple of emails telling you that you've purchased and so forth, and then your order begins to be processed. Now I've seen processes take 5 minutes, and I've seen it take up to a day. So what you want to do is, now that you've processed that order, just come back to your home page and just check over here on the left hand side, and you will see when it becomes available to you, you'll know that it's done being processed. So it'll be right here in this section that says domains. So what you want to do is just click on domains, and then when that domain comes up, here we see michaeldeanchadwick.com. This is where your domain will be. You just want to click on manage domain. Now keep in mind, you can pick as many domains as you want. If you wanted to purchase 3 or 4 different domains, you could do that, and you could have all of them point to the same web address. So it's all up to you how many you want. The only thing you need to worry about on this page is the bottom left corner where it says forwarding. All this other stuff, don't worry about what that means. Down here you're going to click on manage, and it's going to pull up a box where you can manage that domain. Now here's what you want to do. You want to click here where it says enable forwarding, and then this is the key. Under this section where it says forward to, this is where you're in web address. Type it all out right here, and then click move permanently. Now come over to masking. You're going to enable masking, and then type in whatever you want to appear in this blue bar up here at the top of your web page. So in Michael Dean's case, we have Michael Dean Chadwick, ACN Independent Representative. You can put anything you want. Once you're done with that, you're going to hit OK, and that is going to save your forwarding request and start the process of setting that up. Now you may find that if you go to your domain and you type it in and hit enter, it may not immediately pull up your ACN web address. It does have to process that order, and again, that could take a few minutes, or it could take a few hours, or maybe even a day. So just check back. But once you have gone through those steps, now your domain web address is set up to forward directly to your ACN website. And so now, rather than having to give out a specific website, you can just direct people to your domain, which is easy to remember, and that will automatically take them to the website, which is what you want to have happen in the first place. So hopefully this will give you some insight on how you can use domains in conjunction with your ACN website to create more traffic and ultimately get more business.